He's a tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Eyeball top, number 50, you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune of luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. To the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just a fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. Eyeball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. TG from Kilmarnock Town, got your hustle down. Streams the pool games live, makes our day come alive. Early mornings on your grind, Tesco shift unwind, but you find the time to play, stream the virtual day. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand.
And that's a sucker scratch. Look at the line. Commentator's eye. Don't say I didn't warn you.
OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. Early riser, work all done, streams the games just for fun. We'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
This for the 101. Absolutely sensational once again.
Virtual cue in your hand, amazing shots you land. From your home to our screens, living out our pool dreams. The games just for fun, we'll cheer for you every match. TG, you've got the magic touch. OTG tactical genius, every game you bring us with your skill and your flair. We're glad you're always there.
That was fantastic. VP4TV.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, outside, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to VP4TV. Welcome to Steve. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, good.
Let me explain something first, guys, before we go any further. There was a Windows security update, KB, whatever it is, and it's right at the top of my list when I checked my updates. And I got a message on, was it Facebook? I got a message from somewhere saying about Microsoft asking you to uninstall it. And they give you the instruction to uninstall it. Well, Windows 11 doesn't let you uninstall the thing, because when you go through the process to uninstall, it's not listed. It doesn't show it because it's a security update. And I can't get rid of it. To cut a long story short, the reason they're telling you to get rid of it is because it's caused issues with Outlook. It's caused issues with PCs locking up, i.e. mine. Mine just lock up and froze. And it will do that until they bring out an update sometime this week coming. So be warned, if I have an issue tonight, it's that bloody Microsoft security update. And I can't do anything about it because I'm not delving and crawling through files to try and find a thing. Doing it the proper way that they suggest you do it, it does not show in Windows 11. And I don't know how you get it to show, to actually delete the damn thing. So be aware of it. The other thing to mention is, did you know about the Shibo Interchange X match, Steve?
Well, I saw that it was a forfeit.
Right. I got a message from Shibo earlier today, but I wasn't at my phone, and I'll read it. It says, I won't be able to make my match. I'm on Mac operating system and using, what the hell's that say? Whiskey emulator for Windows apps. Everything was working, and today I got a prompt to update his VP4, which of course he did. And the game, and he says the game bug reinstall doesn't work, so I cannot get into the game. If you're there, just let Interchange X know. Well, Interchange X already knows, but I don't know anything about opening the match and resetting it or rescheduling it. And what's the point if Shibo can't get his VP4 to work on his emulator? So I don't know.
I think that's kind of a problem. I have no idea whether it'll run on whatever emulator he has. I mean, I would think it should, but that's out of the realm of anything I can support.
Now, Professor Dabs, or Dabs as I'm just going to call him for tonight, got a doing from Brainfill out in round one. He got pummeled 17-3. So he's probably in for another pummeling against Larry, but I have the utmost respect for anybody who's going to get pummeled. Rather than bottling out and quitting because he get pummeled in the first round, he's played his match, and all due respect to the guy for doing it. Larry's going to be the strong favourite. It's a race to 13. So the challenge for Dabs is to see if he can get 4 racks off Larry in this match. Both of them are here. The room is up. We'll get in. I'll get the cloth changed. Where are we? I can blah blah blah. What the hell am I doing here? I forgot what I'm doing. Right, there we go.
You were looking at the cloth.
Right. So, as I said, both of them were getting practice in. Dabs was there. We're just waiting on him joining the room.
Well, you know, I mean, I tell people they should play in these things. That's how they get better, is playing better players. I mean, it doesn't have to be in here. You could, I mean, go in challenge rooms or do whatever. But the tournament's always a good environment to work on your game.
Well, the
I
other
don't
thing
mean
they
work
should
on
be,
it as in like how you would practice. I mean, work on it competitively.
yeah, the other thing they should be doing is watching the streams and watching how some of the top guys play. Here's a little thing, Steve. I watched a little clip of Efren Reyes. I don't know who he was playing, but if you look at the donut on the table right now, well, they're going to lag. The 10 ball was up here, right? It was up here just off the top rail, and Efren had the cue ball here, and he calls the 10 ball into the left side pocket. And all he does is he banks the 10 ball, kills the cue ball. The 10 ball comes down, just brushes the rail, brushes the left rail before the side pocket, catches the cue ball straight into the side pocket. How cheeky is that?
Yeah, well, that's him fooling around. He wouldn't shoot that in a serious match.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Larry's got the break. So I'm interested in a couple things. One is I've never seen Dabs play, so it'll be interesting to see what he does.
Neither have I, no.
But the other thing I'm interested about concerns Larry, because, you know, Larry's a guy that, you know, he's a longtime VP guy. I always like to see him do well. Last match against Spectre Don, he ended up losing, but he played really well. And I don't know why. I mean, I've seen him play a lot of matches on the tournament table where he misses balls like crazy. And last match, other than the beginning, once he got rolling, you know, he pocketed balls really well on a table that's got tighter pockets.
And look what he just did there.
Well, you know, it's early, and guys are going to miss some balls on these. I'm just interested in seeing if he can, you know, recapture that. And I'm also interested in, you know, seeing if he plays hard against Professor Dabs. I think one of the problems players have is they get in matches that they know they're going to win, and they don't play the same way. And I believe the smart thing to do is play just as hard, play, you know, if you should play safe, then you would, you know, you don't just shoot at everything. Play like you were against anybody that you knew was going to be a tough match, because
this needs a stunt.
You need to develop kind of a mentality of the right way to play and stick with it, not kind of start screwing around.
Well, he got stunned, but he's came back, so
well,
he's
may
going
have
to
go up
pushed
and
it
down
on this.
Well, he can. I don't think he can get behind it. I think he's going to have to go up and down. He's going to try to hit it or get behind it or hit it. Oh, okay, he's going to the other side. That's a very good shot, but he's still got a lot of angle. So,
well, he's got to watch this 10 ball. I don't think he can hold this, can he?
Well, he can if he hits it with a lot of inside and dinks it, but, you know, it makes the shot tough. I think he tried to hit the 10 ball, and that was not successful.
Larry did get pummeled last night in Friday night 9 ball. I saw that on the bracket. He get pummeled 9-0 by Chimpy in the final. So either Chimpy was on a good roll, or Larry wasn't at the party.
Probably a little of both is my guess. I mean, Chimpy hasn't impressed me of a guy that was going to completely shut his opponent down, like, you know, give him 1 or 2 chances the whole match. I mean, he might have. I haven't seen that out of him. So my guess is that Chimpy played well and Larry struggled. Welcome
to Liquid. Welcome to Cobra. Now, what's that I'm reading about Steam? Steam version run just fine under Linux.
Ah, well, that's interesting. I mean, I'm not completely surprised. So is that using Wine? Is that what's going on with that? Is that what you're using to run it on Linux?
Who is it that said that?
It's using Proton. Okay. Oh,
Dabs is in the stream. That's a no-no. You're going to get ripped apart in the stream, I'm afraid. Well, Larry's off and running. First rack on the board. Big storm coming in the States, I hear.
Yeah,
bitter weather.
Not going to be too bitter where I am, but it'll get down to 0 Celsius a couple nights, but that's about as cold as it's going to get. Maybe a little under. I mean, it's pretty warm where I live.
That's a good shot.
But there's a lot of places that are going to be,
Oh, they're talking about minus 30, 40. I mean, we're talking a lot of degrees below. And then, of course, there'll be the wind with people dying all over the place, going out and that.
Yeah, it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of problems because I think there's going to be ice storms. There's a band of ice storms. Further north, I think it's really cold, but there's a band across more to the middle that's going to have a lot of ice storms. And the problem with those is the ice gets on trees and phone lines and,
but it brings everything down. Breaks branches, does all sorts. Yeah, we're lucky we don't get anything like that. Where's the cue ball going?
I'll tell you what, that was a nice shot there. That was well played.
You just got to watch this. Now, you see, this is a tricky bit because if Larry is using a trackball mouse, these are the tricky shots because he wants to dab this back to make the cut in 8.
You only want to back this up about 3 or 4 inches. You don't want to try to get too good. And that's what he did. That was a smart thing to do. Because you can control that. You keep the tip pretty high and hit it hard and just bring it back a little and you don't take a chance.
Welcome to Tyler.
And that was good speed there. And yeah, Larry looks like he's playing good. I don't know. Maybe he got some new contacts or something. Or maybe he's sneaked in a mouse and we don't know it yet.
That ain't happening. I'd know soon enough if Larry'd get rid of his mouse.
Who's Tyler?
I haven't a clue. I can't remember. I cannot remember any of them. Who they are in VP4.
So Larry's up 2-0, and it's kind of expected that this match is going to be sort of one-sided, but there's always things you can find out about people watching them play, and
well, my philosophy is always if the guy's underdog and we all expect him to be, it's is he going to be actually thinking on his feet? Because the first thing you got to do is think about what you're doing. If there's no evidence of that, then the prospects aren't good.
Well, from what I've seen already, he seems to be a thinker. I mean, a lot of it's going to be experience and skill level, and
well, he's caught out with a cut again.
Yeah, I mean, I think the visual in VP takes some time, even if you play in real life a lot. The visual takes some time to get. If you are a good real life player, once you get the visual down, then you should be able to use a lot of that knowledge from real life to your advantage.
That's too hard. Yeah.
He's not going to like where he is now because I think Larry will just pin him on the 6. Now, the problem here is that you could end up hitting the 1 into the 9 that comes off the 3 and makes the 5, which you don't want to do. So you want to
he's giving it back.
You want to hit this as easy as you can. Well, it's just a stop shot, but you want to put a lot of draw on it so that you can slow the cue ball down. When the cue ball gets to the 1, you don't want it going very fast. It's kind of a touchy shot. And this is where your mouse better be tuned up right and set up right. So he's going to go ahead and call this. And this is not easy to make. I think he was trying to play safe, and he called it just in case he made it. And
I don't know that Larry can do much with this. I mean, he can try to just brush the 3 and send it. He's not at a rail.
Good. So Dabs you know, the reason why that little safety shot didn't work is he came up short on the one. In other words, the cue ball turned over. You know, the friction on sliding across the table turned it over and it started rolling. So he's got ball in hand here, right? What's he doing? Didn't he know he had ball in hand?
Well, I would assume he didn't.
Well, I don't think he did. I mean, he should have gone around the backside of that one and just played safe. I don't think he knew he had ball in hand.
I don't know. I don't know whether Larry can get away. You can't avoid the 7 here. He's going to try and just draw it straight into the gap and use. Oh no, he isn't. I thought he was maybe going to bank that and draw the cue ball for cover, but he didn't bother. Well, there's a combo.
I think if you turn it all the way to minimal HUD, you don't even get the alerts. Isn't that right, Hugh? That if it's on minimal, you won't get the alerts. You get nothing, like the foul alert.
I haven't the foggiest idea, Steve. I've always got my HUD on. I've never played the game without the HUD, so I couldn't tell you.
I think if you go all the way to minimal, it doesn't show anything ever.
Now, I would have thought that's a bit of an oversight, that you should always have the prompt for a foul on the top right hand of the screen, no matter what your HUD is.
Well, you've got the player's HUD, which I think I don't know. I'm trying to understand why Dabs did not see that he had ball in hand. You know,
he says I just missed the alert. I don't know what that means. Whether it was there and he never paid any attention to it, or whether, like you said, he might not have any.
He didn't see it. Yeah.
Well, like I said in the past, there's always different ways of winning racks.
He can just roll this.
I think he's in trouble here, though.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a dodgy cut.
I think he was playing a two-way shot there, and the problem with this is getting position on the 8. I mean, making it's hard enough, but getting position, you know, I'd play safe here if it was
He might come across and hit this 10 ball like that.
Yeah. See, I think one of Larry's issues is he plays too aggressive. He had a pretty easy safe to take the 7 up to the top rail and bring the cue ball behind the 9.
Here's a perfect opportunity here for Dabs to get on the board. The problem is he's a bit too straight in this 7.
Yeah, he played that pretty well. He's got a little angle here. He can go right behind the 10.
Yeah, I'd be going.
He can just come straight out if he wants. Yeah, he's fine.
That bump hasn't done him any harm, so just let this cue ball nip over at the left. Don't scratch the side pocket and give yourself a shot.
Well, you know, this is where, you know, my opinion, having played a lot of pool in real life where you don't have stroke of God.
Oh, that'll do. That's perfect.
You want to get like this. You know, this is my idea how to get on the 10 ball. I mean, in VP, I think players leave themselves way too difficult shots way too many times, and on these tighter tables, you know, that'll get you.
Well, Larry's got himself to blame there. You know, he went for a dodgy 7 ball.
Yeah,
I mean, he could have played some sort of safety, but like you said, and I've always known about Larry, if you hang the bait out for Larry, he'll take it every time.
Well, I don't know if that's because, you know, he's being aggressive because he thinks he's going to win this match, or whether that's the way he'd always play it.
Well, I think it's a bit of both. I think he think, you know, he's probably, you know, he's seen the score in the first round match that Dabs had, and he's thinking that he can take a wee bit of liberty now and again, but he's going to lose racks doing that.
Yeah,
if he leaves, you know, like 3 or 4 balls like Dabs had there, if he starts doing that more than once or twice, then he's going to find that this match might be still in, you know, it might still be live later on when he doesn't want it to be. I don't think it'll get that far, but, you know, Larry's only going to have himself to blame if he starts going for all sorts here and leaving tables that you can get out on.
Yeah, I mean, Larry's a good player, and Larry's a pretty smart person from my interactions with him. But you gotta, again, I've said this before. I think a lot of guys just have no confidence in their safety game, so they'll shoot at stuff because they don't feel like they can execute the safety. But what you should do, if that's the description of you, is you should practice your safeties.
Yeah.
And if you don't have offline, or you don't like practicing offline, go in a challenge room or something and get in a match against people and play a lot of safeties. Well, that's no good.
He hasn't got there.
Yeah, he tried to get
Now,
out where he had a cut.
the perfect safety here would be to brush the edge and duck down into the long grass.
Yeah,
Well, he's done that.
he left it. He played the right shot, but he left it. I mean,
Now,
it was just.
I think you can bank this and kill it and hold the cue ball there and hope that 5 ball comes up by the 8 ball side of the table and you've got cover.
I'd probably play safer myself, although it's a little touchy.
Yeah, it stayed that side.
I think he tried to play your shot, the 2-way shot.
Didn't. Maybe there wasn't enough room there to get the angle better to that first long rail, so it could come down onto the short rail and nip over the left side.
Well, Larry can pocket this and get a shot on the 6. There's enough rail there to get to. The question is, are you going to hold this thing a little? And he just cinches the ball, which...
Yeah, he's left it that dodgy angle.
Well, the problem is you can't get on the 7.
Well, look at where the 7 is. Yeah, he's got no chance of getting to that.
This is where you play safe. And I think that's what he did there. I don't know. He may have been trying to get on the 7 because it did go if you got on it right.
Well, this is a feather light touched him. Can you play this and cut it to the long rail, miss the double kiss, and use the 9, 7, and 10 for cover here?
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a wee bit tricky looking.
There's no kiss there. But it's a little touchy because you don't really have, I don't know if you have enough of the 6. This is a touchy shot. He's going to play the bank, which isn't a bad idea.
Yeah, he caught the 7.
It was hard to even get enough to 6 to bank it, I think.
Right, Steve, are you feeling a bit rough? Because you sound a wee bit dodgy.
Yeah, I am feeling a bit rough today.
It sounds like man flu, or it sounds like a late night. It sounds like one of the two.
It's just a cold.
Yeah,
stuff goes around, and
man flu's a killer.
I don't really feel that bad, just a little tired and a little down on it, but I'm okay. I've been working today, so.
I thought you worked every day, Steve.
No, but I'm working today.
That's a nice shot.
I've been working on code to verify players' accounts because I have a player that says that, he's tracking his money winnings and spending, and it's wrong. So I'm writing code to verify it.
That wouldn't be Chris, would it? Chris is the one that was moaning in the lobby about his $dollars looking dodgy.
Well, so I'm writing code to verify accounts, and I've looked at several of them, and so I've got a couple with discrepancies, and I'm not quite sure why. So I'm trying to figure out whether it's my program to verify them, which is probably the case, or whether there's really something wrong.
Well, break, I think, is dry.
But I verified some accounts with a lot of, like pages and pages and pages of charge history, and some of the ones that weren't right, they weren't off by much. So I'm still trying to figure out what's going on.
How long has Dabs been in VP4? Because obviously, I mean, that 1 ball into the side pocket for more experienced players isn't a difficult 1 ball into the side pocket. So he missed that by quite a margin.
Well, I always wonder about players struggling with, making balls and stuff. Like, I know for me personally, it's just, I don't play enough. But, you know, other things that are real key issue are things like, you know, making sure that your setup's the same all the time, your field of view and your window size, and
save zoom, which I don't know whether many people use that at all. I use it
Yeah.
all the time.
the little tilde so you can set the distance from the cue ball.
Yeah,
It's control tilde to set it, and it's tilde to go to it so that you can
to bring
always
it
get the same distance. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's super important to be able to get a set distance.
And anybody who's watching, there's no excuse that you can't do it, because I've got instructions on my channel. There's a video on it to tell you how to do it.
Yeah, and it's super critical you get the same distance and you get the same field of view and the same window size.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
these are tough.
But, you know, I mean, just like in real life. So, you know, I don't know how much pool most of you guys play in real life, but, you know, I've obviously played a lot. And I can tell you that, you know, through the years of playing, you know, I got to the point where I just don't really make a lot of visual mistakes when I shoot balls. You know, if I'm missing balls, it's usually some kind of mechanical thing. I mean, and I don't care whether it's these blind cuts or whatever. You know, I mean, I can line up and shots really well, but it took me a long, long time to get to that point. In VP, you have a huge advantage that you have a stroke that's always consistent. So when you miss a ball, you know it's visual. I mean, it could be like, there are some things with speed and throw, and, you know, if you don't understand what's going to happen with the cue ball when you put English on it or at curving, you know, there's some things that can potentially get you caught out. But for the most part, you know, you don't have to worry about the mechanical breakdown, and that's a huge advantage in learning. Because in real life, when you miss a ball, you don't know whether it was mechanical, you don't know whether it was, you know,
Table.
you played the shot wrong. It could even be the table. You don't know whether it's visual. So when there's so many unknowns, it's very difficult to learn. In VP, it's mostly visual. So as far as making balls, so, you know, you got to get to the point where you understand the look of it. And obviously people can, because we've seen people play great. We've got some players that are, you know, really strong. And a lot of these guys that are like, you know, low 2000 rated players are very good ball pocketers. But the reason why they're not 2500, 2600 level players is because strategy, not understanding how to play patterns, not understanding how to play safe. The cue ball, the main reason is the cue ball is just not good enough. So once you get to the point where you have the visual and you can make balls, you ought to be working a lot on cue ball.
Try again, but safe.
It's almost like the stages kids go through. What are all those stages little kids go through? When you're a baby and they're sucking their thumb, they call it one thing. Then they have, what is it, the anal stage? And, you know, they have these names for stages. It's kind of like players go through that too. There's the learning how to see the shot line and see what it looks like to make balls. And then there's, you know, learning about draw and follow, and then learning about English, and then learning strategy. There's all these stages you have to go through to become a really good player.
Well, that was the worst push out you're going to see tonight, I think.
That was not particularly good. He should be able to hold for the combo here. Whoa, well,
Well,
that's one of the worst misses you're ever going to see.
Larry's eyes were on the combo, Steve, and he forgot about the one. He was too busy looking at the combo setup.
Wow, that wasn't even close. Yeah, and I think you're probably right, Hugh. He's so worried about getting the cue ball where he wants it, he forgets to aim the shot. The struggle is real, Steve. Well, I know it is, Liquid. Trust me, I've played tons and tons of pool, and the struggle in real life pool is a lot harder than the one in VP.
Good evening to Tam. Oh, cue ball's gone. It doesn't rain, but it pours. So Larry's problem is right in the middle of the table. Obvious problem also with the fact that the 9 ball's a blocker for the 5, even if the 5 does go. But the 5 does go in the corner, but is Larry going to be getting in behind that 5?
He should be able to. I mean, he just needs a little angle on this 4 ball to slide over. So, you know, if he had the cue ball back where it is now, he could do it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he should be looking at. And he may be too
That's
straight
no-
on.
That's no good.
That's no good. Yeah, he needed to come back more. So,
Yeah, he's bolt
you know,
straight.
at this point, you have to start thinking about how am I going to play safe. So you can cut the left side of that 5 ball and take the cue ball up towards the 7. Try to bump the 7 and get behind the 10. Now the problem is you could make the 7, so it's a little risky doing it. And he's trying it.
I think he's
Well, he
got
got enough
most of it
cover
covered.
with the 6, so he's okay.
Now, you got to be careful with this. I mean, you can just brush the edge of this, push it to the long rail, and just stay up the top of the table there.
Well, I mean, you know, Liquid, I mean, I think sometimes the commentary can be a little bit brutal, but, you know, it is there to help people. Ouch. And I think it's good, you know, if you're not one of the top players, you know, you play in these tournaments, I think it's a great opportunity to learn.
Well, there's nothing. I mean, Liquid should know this, but there's nothing annoys me more than some, you know, especially if you're playing doubles, and I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes, not all the time, but it's the player not seeing the obvious shot, the simple shot. And the biggest criticism I've got of Liquid is he puts far too much English in the cue ball when it's not needed. You know, he thinks putting English on, you have to send that cue tip all shapes to make the cue ball do silly things that you don't need to do. So he needs to cut down on the amount of English he's using.
You know, this
because English is going to affect the aim of the cue ball for a start and make the shot more difficult.
I think that was cinch the 8 ball shot.
Well, this is tough.
Yeah, you know, this is really just make it. He should be drawing this. There he goes.
Yeah, he's played it well.
Shot.
Yeah, the other thing to practice, Liquid, practice that stun draw. I keep telling you that because that's your other problem. The other problem that people have got is especially if you're playing a draw shot to get onto that next ball, if you just start digging down in the cue ball, it's very, very difficult to control the draw. But if you play that stun draw and you play it more frequently, you'll get to know the touch to give you that stun. You hit the ball a bit harder, but you're only getting the cue tip half a tip below the equator, and you'll be amazed at how the cue ball will come back into a spot that's more amenable than opposed to what you used to do is draw it back far too far.
Yeah, I agree with you here. The standard kind of drawback, especially when you try to draw back, 6 inches or a foot, should be more of a stun draw. There are times when you want to go real low on the cue ball, but those are the minority of the time. Most of the time, you want to have a more moderate position and just hit it harder to get more draw.
Well, the other thing I would say, and this is not just to Liquid, but I would say to players, for goodness sake, if we're playing doubles and we're just messing about playing doubles, don't be afraid to experiment. Try something. Try playing a stun draw. And if you don't get it right the first time, the more often you play it, the more you'll become accustomed to it. It doesn't matter that. Experiment with less English in the cue ball and see how it works.
Well, the best place to experiment is offline because you can set up the shot and just do undo and shoot it again and undo and shoot it again. I mean, I think one of the things about people is there are two types of people. There's the people that play all the time and there's the people that practice all the time. And well, not all the time, but there's people that practice a lot. I think there's a huge advantage to be a practicer. But you can get really good being a player and not practicing. The problem is that the amount of time it takes to get really good being a player is a lot more than if you practice a lot. And the reason why is that when you practice, you can focus your practice on specific things, like shooting a stun draw and undo and shooting it over again till you kind of get a feel for it. As a player, you might have to play, you know, hundreds of games to get that same feel from, you know, an hour or two of just sitting there and offline and doing it. So if you're the sort of person that doesn't like to practice, you're going to have to play a lot more to get some of those concepts down.
I didn't know Albinario was playing a Cerro. If it was on the schedule, I never noticed it, and I don't know when they played, but the chances are I was at work anyway.
They played yesterday, and
what was the score?
17-13.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Well, Cerro's playing well.
Now, what was the match? That's what I was going to say. Spudboy isn't here tonight, but Spudboy got a good win against Chiku. But I have to say that all I saw of the match, I think I went into the room a couple of times, Chiku wasn't giving two hoots what he was doing. He was banging at balls. He just wanted the match over. And from what I saw of Spudboy was full on focus, working hard. And in the end, he got the result. But I do have to say that I think Chiku played a big part in his own downfall, because I just don't think he wanted to be there. I mean, he wasn't. He was thumping at balls and, you know, going too quick. And needless to say, he was missing a lot of shots.
Yeah, Larry's playing decent. I mean, I don't know why, but his ball pocketing seems better on this tight table than on the looser one, which doesn't make any sense. But, you know, maybe he's just more focused on it.
Well, I think Larry actually had a ball in the break in this match, because I'm not counting him, but I don't think he's hit any.
Well, I will say this, that the way he's hitting it is different from the way that the guys that have been really successful on the break are hitting it. You know, if you look at how, well, SPD's been the best, but a lot of players, I think, have copied him. Albin was breaking like him. You know, there's nothing wrong with copying people.
Oh, there's Spudboy. I'm glad you agree, Spudboy, because that's the impression I got. I mean, Spudboy was doing, you know, he was doing his utmost to try and do everything right, and Chiku just didn't really care. You know, he was asking for trouble. So a good win. Now, what's that about? Welcome to it. I never noticed what.
I got the. He says I got the.
By the way, Steve, on the homepage, you said only 2 players have won.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 4, 5.
Oh, about who'd won in VP3 and VP4?
Well, he's saying there's at least 2 more. I'm seeing 6.
Aye, Keith and Mal. Aye.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at more than 2. Okay, let me look at VP3 and VP4. Okay, so that's all VP4. Well, let me go back down here. Let's see.
Well, Tabs is on the 2 ball, but
okay,
he's going to have to try ducking and diving on the 3.
Keith has won in both. Albinario's won in both. Stubbs won in both.
I don't know whether he can get enough of this 3 ball to bank this, can he?
I
don't think you can. I don't think you can get enough of that to bank it.
Mal's won in both. So yeah, I had that wrong. You're right.
I think
Looks
that's a
like there's
foul.
4 people that have won. All right. Well, okay. I lied.
Nope. I thought it was a foul, but it wasn't. Oh, Dao Hombre. Did he win in it? He won the snooker, didn't he? Did he win the snooker in VP3? I don't remember whether he did.
I can change this. I can make it the 4th. That's what edit is for. Let's see.
I beat him. I think I beat him. Did I beat him in the semi-final to get to Albinario? I think it was Larry. Then it was Dao Hombre, and then I had Albi in the final. Oh, I tortured that Dao Hombre guy. I'll tell you that. I had him tied up in knots.
Oh, we talking crop now?
My tactical genius in that match really done his
Boy,
head in.
we got crap talking going. You're not even American.
Who, you talking about me?
Yeah.
I'm just telling it like it is. I mean, God. I mean, we won't mention Trump again, but my God, that guy's off his bloody head. He's an embarrassment.
All right. So I just updated the article. That's the advantage of having to edit. All right. Thanks for that little note there on the...
Right. I don't think you're going to get it that way, is he? Can he squeeze around the 10 and not hit the 9? Yes, he can. How's the cue ball doing? Well, this might work out nice. He's got lucky.
Well, so this is a kind of ball that's pretty hard to kick safe. So you're probably gonna want to hit this with speed like that, because that gives you a better chance of getting safe when you really don't have something that you think, there's nothing really close to it to come off. I mean, you could have tried to get him on the 9, but if you're not effing, that's tough. And yeah, that one's right into the...
Well, the stuns in these pockets are scary, because you know that if you're not getting it sweet, they're just going to hang up. Well, this is tough for Larry, because I think this is fairly tight to the rail, this 8 ball. It's not locked on it, but it's still, you can't push this to the rail any bit at all. He's got to get it flush.
I've played, in real life, I've played tens of thousands of games on pockets tighter than these. I played a lot on tight pocket tables, and you got to hit them good. That's what it comes down to.
He's got to hit this good as well. He's just content to leave it nailed to the rail. Got to watch moving the tip. Any slight deviation in English in that cue ball, and funny things happen to the 10 ball going to this pocket.
Yeah, you start turning the ball.
He's got it. Well,
maybe that's why you want to play with more of a level cue, because it doesn't matter where your vertical tip is. You can be up on top of the cue ball. If your cue's not level, the more the angle you've got, the more the ball's going to turn when you put English, even just a little.
Stefan says the German translation is awful. Well, that's what Google Translate gives for you.
Well, it wasn't Google Translate, but Stefan, volunteered to look at it, so I need to get him the files to clean it up. I mean, hopefully he clean up the worst of it, but...
well, when you get around to adding stubbish to it, I'll help you with that, Steve.
But, I mean, I knew that it wasn't going to be wonderful, but, the question is something that's not wonderful better than nothing? And I think it is.
Now, I haven't heard. I mean, the one thing I did notice that when Steve did do the update, all the gratis players disappeared. I don't know whether there's many of them come back, but I've not had any problem.
There's been lots of gratis players that came back. What you didn't understand there, Hugh, is what time it was in Vietnam. That's why most of them left.
That's true. That's probably right enough. I forgot. Aye, it might have been like getting to the middle of the night. No, I've not had
Assumptions are
any
the root
issues.
of all evil. No, I would know because I'm the one that gets all the support messages and emails, and I can tell you that there's been very few problems.
I take it, do you use that term or that phrase in the States, Steve? Never assume, because it makes an ass out of you and me.
Well, yeah, we do have that saying, but you know, the thing is as a engineer, I will tell you this: on solving any kind of problems, the worst thing you can do is make a bad assumption, because then you go down a road, because problem solving is usually numerous things following one another. So once you turn off this branch of the road and go down it on a false assumption, you'll never solve the problem. So it's really critical you don't make false assumptions when you're trying to solve problems, or you're going to really suffer. And trust me, I know from really suffering.
There's your chance to give an example then, Steve, because where did it suddenly click that you worked out that it was the chat font or a particular chat font that was causing the black screen, and a single player in a room all being part of it? What clicked? What triggered?
Well, you know, I knew the code worked on 32-bit and didn't on 64, so I was primarily looking for issues that could be caused by going to 64-bit. And
well, all the factors that you added, and one of the factors you added was the fonts, which weren't in 32-bit, so that could have been a factor.
Yeah, the problem wasn't actually the fonts. The problem was, you know, the code. I thought it was just the font, but it wasn't. It was the code and certain situations with fonts that caused an issue. But yeah, that one kind of caught me out because I never realized. The problem was it worked in debug mode. So when you work on computers and you're in a debug mode, it gives you a lot more capability for finding the problem. Like if it crashes or hangs, you can find the problem a lot easier. Mm-hmm. But when you get a problem that only shows up in a release build, you're a lot more limited in finding the issue. And so I wouldn't say guessing as much as kind of looking for things I knew could cause problems for release builds. But what I did not realize is there was something that came up between 32 and 64-bit release modes that I didn't realize could be a problem. And it was actually ChatGPT that told me that. I was having a conversation with it, and it's like, oh, well, if the return value isn't correct there, then, it's a problem in 64-bit could show up when you don't have it in 32. And I never imagined that could be a problem. So it took me a long time to find it.
Spud Boy, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you what I'll do right now. I will go to Facebook and I will send him a message to check his proposals. Where are we? Let's see.
Good shot there.
See if we can find him. Right.
I'm convinced Larry's playing better this tournament. I don't know what's up with him. Maybe he's taking Viagra when he plays or something. And he's almost like a new man. Have you noticed that, Hugh? How much better Larry's playing?
No, not necessarily.
Well,
I think you're looking at Larry through rose-colored spectacles, Steve.
No, his biggest bugaboo, that I've seen has been missing balls, or he has matches where he just misses a lot of balls, and he seems to be pocketing balls really well now. I mean, I think he needs to adjust some strategy, but I mean, I thought he could have won the match against Spectre Don. I mean, I'm not going to say that he didn't miss any balls there that hurt him, but, you know, Spectre Don did too.
Well, it went the way I thought it would go, that Larry would make more mistakes than Spectre Don did, and that would work out in the long run.
I'm not sure that was 100% true. I mean, I think Larry, you know, there were some situations that he didn't handle the strategy well. If he would have, I think he, you know, he might have won, because he definitely had a moving advantage. He moved better than Spectre Don did that match. I think if he would have just made that a little bit better, he might have won.
Right, Spud, I've sent him a message. No immediate acknowledgement of it, so he might be out in the town, or he might be doing something, but he'll get the message.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you can have matches like that. I mean, Chimpy may have played really well. I didn't see the match. Although, you know what? You can probably go back and watch it, because that match should be saved as the tournament final, right? So if you go to stats, or no, I'm sorry, to watch. If you go to watch and you look at matches, and let's see. Why is it not there? Let's say Saturday. Bankster versus Chimpy. Why isn't it there? Oh, okay. He didn't play him in the final, that's why. Yeah, Ole Bankster versus Chimpy, that was the final. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you can
just
send him a proposal for tomorrow and see if he responds.
just give it time. He'll get my message, and then he'll check, and then you should, unless he's away, you know, he could be out of town. When's the deadline? Because I haven't looked to check deadlines or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I like how Larry's playing. I think Larry's one of these guys I've thought for a long time that could have a chance of winning one of these.
Not with that
But
mouse, he won't, Steve.
He hasn't.
He'll never win one.
He hasn't seemed like he got better, and like all of a sudden he's playing better, mainly because I think he's pocketing balls better. But you know, his cue ball seems pretty good. I mean, I think if he could improve, you know, his rating's 2272. You know, really, you got to get your rating up for probably more like 2400 to have a chance in this thing.
Well, I think I was a bit over ambitious giving Dabs a target of 4. It might be that we'll give him a target of 2, because we're running out of racks here.
You got to give Larry credit for playing well. I mean, he's taking it to him, which is what you need to do. So, you know, looking at this thing, okay, Spectre Don's 2335. So I said 2400, but that's just sort of a number I pulled out of my butt. Acero's 2244. But I think he's better than that. Let me go look and see what Acero actually is in 9-ball. Thing is, some people don't play a lot of 10-ball. Does the rating adjust up? Yes, it does, but you know, only partially. Like he's 2004 in 10-ball and 2409 in 9-ball, so it only goes part way.
Well, he got a little brush off the 5 there, which done him a favour. Now the problem is the 5 ball's blocked by the 7.
What's interchange X rated as? So he's 2325. Matt's 2325.
Oh, Larry's got the angle. You can get across.
Albin's 26. Cobra's 25. So if you look at the ratings, you know, you probably got to be a 2300 or more to have a chance of winning this.
Now, this just needs a little dab. And again, there's another gentle pot. You're on the 7. No, you got to hit the pot, though. You got to hit the pot.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a trackball mouse, too.
Oh, I don't believe there's any sane person in VP4 has even... Surely, I mean, I don't like to think that people who've listened to this stream have said, Hugh's probably talking a load of crap. I'm going out to buy a trackball mouse. I bet you I can play good with it. I'm telling you, you can't.
Well,
Larry's as good as you'll get with a trackball mouse, but as I keep saying, and we've seen evidence of it, there are certain shots you cannot trust a trackball mouse for.
I mean,
and I'll stick with that.
The thing about the mouse setup is, everybody's different, but if you're struggling with the speed, the best thing to do is talk to people that are good players and find out, what their settings are. Not just their settings in VP, but also what
I don't think that
CPI
helps
their mouse.
That doesn't help anybody in the slightest. It helps nobody in the slightest doing that. Well, I mean, I can tell from experience that I've got about 7 or 8 different mice where I do not change any of the settings. I've got this my setting mouse speed is 10. And 10 and rotation is whatever it is, and I never change those. But see, when I swap mice over, the game is the actual touch for the mouse and the speed of the cue, everything's different. There's not a mouse plays exactly the same as the next one. All the mice I've got, when you don't mess about with any of the settings, all you do is swap the mouse over. The game is completely different.
But I never said it wasn't.
Yeah.
What I said was, you need to ask them a lot of questions. Like, you need to know what the DPI is. If they have an adjustable DPI and sample rate, you need to know what that is.
No, I still don't think it makes any. I don't think it helps anybody at all. I mean, for example,
I do, because you need to get within a reasonable range and then fine tune it.
Well, what I wouldn't say is it's no good, say, Dabs saying to Cobra, what's your mouse settings? I'm struggling for control and all that. Well, I don't think it makes any difference, because
it does. But there's a lot of variables. Like, some people shoot by moving their fingers. Some people shoot by moving their whole hands. Some people shoot by a combination of them. How you use the mouse makes a difference. But if you don't talk to people about it,
well,
how do you hold it? How do you move it?
I would agree with that, and I'll tell you why I would agree with that. Because the mouse, the mice that I just bought the other day, they are tiny. They are micro mice, and my hand is you can't see the mouse when I'm using it. All you can see is the cable coming from it. I'm using my hand on the mouse, on the actual mat, to control my pace. Sliding the mouse, because I cover the whole mouse, and I'm using my fingers that give me grip on the mat, or there's friction on the mat with my fingers that controls the pace of my shot better. And that's something you do depending on the size of the mouse.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're proving my point for me. That a lot of communication that
my argument
will help.
But my argument against
your argument is it's impossible, and all this information can't possibly help you. And I disagree.
No. Hear me out first. What did I say there? I said, I mean, what I don't want somebody doing is saying, "Oh, Hugh uses it away down at 10," and the first thing they do is they set theirs to 10. And then they go in and they play. Oh, that's far too bloody slow. I've got to swipe the mouse through 100 miles an hour to actually hit the ball.
Again, there's more to it. I mean, maybe I should write a blog article on this. I never write blog articles anymore, but maybe I should, on how to set up the mouse and different ways of playing. Because
well, the first thing I would say is don't use the VP4 auto setup, because to me that I mean, you might say that's a good way to start, but for me, the best way is if you use that to get you started in VP4, to get your mouse set up automatically by putting in the instructions you're told to do, the measurements and that sort of thing. If you do that and you start there as a grounding, the rest of it's up to you in terms of messing about. Practice just banking up and down the table, so you can get the cue ball onto the bottom rail. do stuff like that and then adjust it up and down accordingly. But you're not going to do this. Isn't an overnight fix.
Of course, it's not. But the thing is you're discounting that, you know, how valuable that information can be, because it may not be immediately obvious. But, you know, when you watch a guy like Albin move the cue ball, okay, you're like, well, why can't I move the cue ball like that? So you could make the assumption that Albin is just that much more talented than you. But it's not just that. I mean, there's more to it. And part of it is going to be how you got your mouse set up. It can definitely help you. Is it easy to do? No. But it still doesn't mean you don't want to talk to people and get information, try to figure out, you know, how they set up the mouse, how they use the mouse. I mean, that's why I think a blog article would be good, because
what about
if you don't ask questions like, do you move your whole hand or do you move your fingers, that's a huge thing.
Are we saying that there's a lot of dumb people in VP4 who start the game, play it, and whatever the mouse is set as, they go with that, and they don't do any adjustment?
I'm saying that it's not that obvious how to get it good.
But I mean, I know that if I said to Albinario, what's your mouse settings, and I go and set those mouse settings, that's my game.
I didn't say to do that.
What game I do have is ruined.
I never said that that's going to be like the solution for everything.
And the other thing is, here's another point. You go and ask these guys, they're not going to tell you jack. They're going to tell you nothing. That's the other thing.
No, that's not true. You know, a lot of players are willing to help. And you know, I mean, if I'm Albin, do I want 50 players asking me how I set things up and use my mouse? No, but you know, having one person like me do it and then writing a blog article would be worth it. That's, you know. Cobra uses a razor. Well, that's not enough information. You have to ask him, what's the DPI? What's the sample rate?
You nothing.
He just answered a question.
Well, he uses a razor mouse. That's a lot of information. And I mean, if it's a razor mouse, that's going to have multiple DPI settings on it.
If I took your approach, I would not be able to play pool at all, because a lot of the knowledge I got was from asking champions.
Yeah.
What about this? What about that?
That's a whole different thing, Steve. We're talking real life to a video game. There's no comparison. Especially when you're talking about a mouse. No, there isn't.
There's a huge correlation. You're talking about people not wanting to talk to you. When I was young, none of the players would talk to you, at least not in this country. As I got older, things changed, and players were more willing to talk about things. But
my simple advice. Now, see if we just give simple advice, or if I'm giving simple advice.
Hugh, Cobra just answered the questions. He's shooting you down. He said what mouse, what DPI, and what speed setting. The next thing you ask him is, do you move your whole hands, or do you just move your fingers, or is it a combination of them? Because that makes a huge difference, actually, how you hold and use the mouse.
Right. Well, first of all, Cobra's DPI is way too high for me.
It doesn't matter. We're just talking about his setup. You may
right.
You need to ask him about how he holds a mouse. Maybe you hold it completely different. You're not getting the point of this.
No, I don't get the point on it. I'm telling you, there is so many variables in the damn thing. I think it's pointless asking somebody. I really do. I think you have to do your own work. That's my argument. Do your own work. Away and work it out yourself, because that's the best way you're going to find out something that you're most comfortable with. You can talk to every man to your blue in the face. You're not going to be any better a player.
That means that half these guys will never figure out and just quit playing VP because they suck.
The answer for most of those guys is, I just play for fun. That means that they haven't been asked to actually look at their mouse settings at all. They don't scratch their head and say, why am I hitting this ball too hard? The mouse seems to be flat. The cue seems to be flying through, and they don't do any adjustment.
Get my fingers off the mat. So do you move your whole hand? You keep your fingers still and move your whole hand and arm, or are you kind of flexing your fingers to move the mouse, or is it a combination?
I've always been whole hand. I'm not a finger flicker.
That means you
Before
move
you
your
ask.
whole. That means you move your whole arm then.
Yes.
Move my hand. So he doesn't use his fingers, which means he's moving his hand, his whole
Mhm.
arm, really. Because to move your hand and not you move your fingers, you got to move your arm. Yeah. So I'm sure there's lots of people on this stream that are like, oh.
Oh, I should go and look at my mouse settings. You think they've actually twigged? Oh,
No,
maybe I should go in and look at my mouse settings and
the
actually
thing
adjust
is
something.
Is just discussing it, people are going to be like, oh, well, I didn't know there's different DPI on mice. And oh, I didn't know that some people use fingers and some people use hands. I mean,
Yeah.
People just don't know that stuff.
Well, then, I mean, you'd have thought they might have worked something like that out by now. They've played the game for a good few years.
Well, yeah, for a few years, we got lots of people that haven't. Well, the advanced mouse settings you can get some mileage out of that, but that's a little bit tricky. I will tell you that I don't recommend using accelerated best fit because I haven't found that. So either velocity average or velocity bet fit. And fit time and accumulation time, a lot of that depends on your sample rate on your mouse and your DPI settings. So it's,
I couldn't even tell you what my mouse settings are in terms of advanced settings.
You may not have changed them.
Oh, well, I've changed everything. I've changed every single thing. Rotation, slew, I've got that set to the way I like it. The
Those aren't
camera going
advanced mouse
100%.
settings.
But all the advanced settings, what the hell have I done? I don't know. I couldn't tell you what they are.
You probably haven't done anything. You probably just have them.
I'm in
the way
Pivot
they
English. And where's the advanced settings for the mouse again?
They're under mouse. Mouse, M-O-U-S-E.
Yeah, I'm in mouse. Oh, no, there we are. Show advanced setting. I'm in velocity average. And I'm on 10 and 10 and 50 for the slew thing. And 8 milliseconds.
Well, the advanced ones are only the three there: velocity, comp, fit time, and accumulation time.
And whatever that is, 1 to 14 seconds fit time thing. But as I said, I set them, and I've never touched them since the day I set them. They've been like that since I've had VP4.
Well, you might not ever change them. I don't remember what the defaults are.
I haven't a clue. But
those are probably less important. It depends on your device. Those are mostly for dealing with certain types of mouse setups.
But the one experience I've got is I've got experience with lots of different mice, expensive mice to the cheapest mice. I've had expensive mice set down to 800 DPI and played with one of them, and then I've swapped over to a cheap mouse. We're talking there. Like a few bucks, and it's 800 anyway, and they're two completely different things when you're shooting with them. The pace of the cue ball is entirely different, even though all my settings are still the same. Swap a mouse over and the game is totally different.
Yeah, well, not all our mice are created equal.
This is why I play VP4 a bit like a golfer. If I'm going to play snooker, I've got a snooker mouse. If I'm playing pool, I've got a pool mouse, and if I'm playing cowboy, I've got a new cowboy mouse. Because you're jumping straight to the 10-foot table, and my cowboy mouse is better for pace control. If I'm, just doing the lag for the break, my lag's usually reasonably good.
Well, you're probably a rare bird because I doubt too many people are doing that.
Oh, there's nobody as sad as me. No, I'm the saddest person. I've tried umpteen mice. I think I had 3 different trackball mice, and they're all sitting there with an inch of dust on them, never to be touched again. Every one of them crap.
Yeah, well,
And I
I
don't.
think, Cobra's one of the best players in this thing, if not the best, and he just
Yeah,
gave
but
us
he's
a
not
lot
using
of
a trackball
information
mouse.
about how he does things that should be useful to people.
Oh no, don't you still get accelerated best fits, Romario? I tried that, and I find that the mouse goes through too quick for me.
Yeah, I haven't found that to be that wonderful. I mean, that was something mathematically we decided to do, but I don't think it works very good. The other 2 settings do work well.
Well, I still say, in all seriousness, as much as we could argue one way or the other, you need to just tweak things up and down slightly. If you're ever thinking, well, maybe if I change this a wee bit, just tweak it slightly. And do. I mean, what I took a photograph of my settings on my phone years ago, and if ever I forget my settings, I've got it on my phone. If ever I have to, reinstall VP4 and a clean install, and you have to then go in and put the settings in again, then I know what they are. But whenever you start experimenting in just very slight changes, and you can always go back to what you had before. But there's no harm in just messing about and trying how something works. I mean, I went back to the default English in VP4, and I found I was even worse than what I am now. So I went back to Pivot English because I can read it better. I can read Pivot English better when I'm hitting the cue ball. You wouldn't know that when you see the way I've been playing recently, but it's certainly the way I like it. I mean, go back to go back to the days of, there's guys here who never had VP3, but go back to VP3. When you went in with your mouse in VP3, you had 10 settings. You didn't have up to 100 different choices in the actual speed setting. You had 10 settings in VP3. And you chose one, and that was it. you never went near it again. That was the good old days. That's what you should go back to. Go back to just 10 settings in the in the mouse sensitivity. But then, of course, you've got all these multi-DPI mice, and so much choice. You can mess about for days and days trying to get things the way you like it.
So, whoever was talking about Haz having problems, I told Haz to contact me about him, and he hasn't.
Right, anyway.
And his problem is one I've never heard of. He says that he goes into VP4 and suddenly he gets thrown into the garage and loses 50 rating points, which I've never heard of anybody having that issue.
That's definitely weird.
He said he did and got no answer. Oh, well, maybe he messaged super admin. I tell you guys all the time, don't do that.
Yeah.
Because super admin doesn't respond. You got to message support, and I'm sure I told him to do that because super admin does not read messages.
Well done to Larry. A comfortable win.
Here's some stuff from.
Right. We've got Cobra Balls tomorrow. At what time is that? Is that 5 p.m. or 3 p.m.? I'm actually out my chair trying to read this. Oh, it's 5 p.m. And then Stubb and Brainfill out at 7 p.m. and Romario Inspector Dawn at, is that tomorrow? It is tomorrow at 7:45. So there's going to have to be decisions made as to what match I'm going to stream tomorrow night. Unless, mind you, Slim's off. He's off Sunday, Monday, isn't he? So hopefully Slim might be around. Right. So Larry goes through, and he's waiting on the winner.
Yep, I found the I did find the message. She sent it to super admin. Never send message to super admin unless you don't want to get a response.
Well, Larry looks as if he's going to have a fairly comfortable ride in his next match, because it's either going to be Miskin or Old Man Bob, and I don't think Larry should be having any problems there in that match. The problem we will have is that Albinario is looming. That's all I'm going to say. Albinario is looming, waiting on him. Right, so that match that I missed, Acero through to round 4, and he's waiting on the winner of Jose and Bankster. Now, I have to say that Acero's looking strong favourite in that match. So Acero's he's in a good situation at the moment at that top of the draw. And then, of course, we've got the Spectre Don Romario match to come. So it's looking good for Acero where he is right now. Right, so those are the matches. I will be home from work, but I don't know whether Slim is going to be around. I haven't seen him. We'll see how things go tomorrow. There'll certainly be one match we'll be streaming at some point, whichever one it might be. So Larry got through. Dabs, well, he obviously was in over his head, but again, I keep saying I tip my hat to anybody who doesn't bottle out, who actually stays the distance, because that's the only way you're going to improve when you're up against these guys. You know, you need more and more tournament experience. Watch the streams, listen to what's going on, and try and help yourself. Well, I think that's about it, folks.
I'm going to look at his ad thing and respond to him. Yeah, support will always respond. I mean,
yeah, this guy, super admin. Why does he not respond, Steve? Who the hell is this super admin guy?
he doesn't respond because he gets hundreds of messages into his account, and I mean, it in one day it could be buried 3 or 4 pages deep. That's why you don't send messages to super admin.
Is there that many problems with people with VP4 that they're sending you pages of bloody contacts?
No, I've said this before. I get every single tournament match proposal, confirmation, every single report, every single thing that moderators send out. I get all of that coming into this account.
That's an awful lot of crap.
Yeah, so it's stuff gets lost in there, so I don't look at that, because like things like admin reports and tournament match proposals, if I want to look at that, I look at my email where it's reflected into that. If somebody sends me a message directly, that doesn't show up on my email. It only shows up on the messages, and I just don't get it.
Well,
by the way, where is Wanwa? I got no idea where Wanwa is.
And what's Wanwa complaining about?
Yeah, well, good job, Professor Dabs, coming in and playing. Keep at it. You're gonna get better.
I've still not had any reply from Matt, so clearly he's not at his phone, or as I said, he might be out for the night, or he could be away on vacation somewhere. Although why you would go on vacation in the middle of bloody January, I don't know, but he'll acknowledge it somewhere or another at some point. Yeah, one was online a couple of days ago. I saw him in the lobby. So he's not. It's not that he's disappeared. I think he usually comes on late at night when I'm. Well, in fact, he usually comes on when I'm not here anyway. It's just the fact that I had the last 3 days off, and he certainly was online. Yeah, he definitely was. Okay, well, yes, we didn't do an awful lot of commentary, but you know that's the way that match was going. But the advice with Mouse is mess about with them. No matter what one you've got, just tweak them a wee bit. Don't do what I do and keep going out buying different mice. But I got into that habit years ago, even in VP3. Right, are we done, Steve?
Yeah, I'm sitting here responding to his ad.
Because I'm going for a coffee.
I already had my coffee when we were doing this. Well, thank you for the stream. Good job to Larry. He played well. I'm hoping Larry goes a long ways in this tournament. He's playing like that. He could.
I thought you were going to say, I hope Larry buys a normal mouse someday. I thought you were going to say that there, Steve.
Well, Larry's going to play the winner of Miskin and Old Man Bob.
Yeah, well, like I said, he's not going to lose that.
If he gets by that, he's got to play Albin. So
yeah,
you know, well, and I think he's got a chance to beat Albin. But you know, he's going to have to play great and maybe tighten up his strategy a little more.
Well, he'll do that. I think there's no doubt about that. That he will sort of reel it in a wee bit because he knows what's coming if he doesn't.
Yeah. The problem with trying to reel it in, like the problem with saying, okay, I'm going to play safe here because I don't want to take the chances. You've got to be able to execute the safety. So he needs to practice the safeties. That's what he really needs to do.
That should be a good one. I mean, race to 13. I mean, you know, and again, he'll be hoping he must have started braking a wee bit better. I never even noticed it. He had a lot of dry brakes early in that match. So his brake might work good that match when it comes.
So how about Acero? You know, look at his draw. He has to play SBD, beats him 17-16. Then he has to play Albinario, beats him 17-13.
Yeah.
I mean, Acero right now is looking like potentially the favorite to win this thing. I mean, Cobra's played a couple good matches, 17-10 against Bedhead and 17-6 against Matt. So those are a couple big wins. I mean, he handled them pretty easily.
Why is Liquid sending me a PM when I'm in the middle of a stream? He knows fine well I'm not going to answer it. He's looking for somebody to play doubles, and I'm... What's that? If I get Interchange X, will you dub? No, I'm going for a coffee.
So, you know, we got Spectre, Don, and Romario coming up tomorrow.
Well, see, Romario...
Balls and Cobra coming up tomorrow.
There's Romario, who will either blow hot or cold, but mostly cold. I mean, Romario can blast racks, and then he can go out the window for half an hour, and by that time he'll have lost.
Play good playing Spectre Don, and then we got Stub against Brain fell out. So we got a bunch of stuff going on tomorrow.
Yeah, well, good luck to them. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what match we're doing. I'll wait to see if Slim appears tomorrow before we decide what we're going to do. But I'll be doing one of them anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
All
I'm
right,
heading out. Thanks, everybody.
Good night,
Thanks to Steve. And we will see you again at some point tomorrow. I just don't know what it's going to be. So until then, we'll bid you good night and take care. See you soon.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.